Football, America's most popular sport. But beneath the glory of the game lies a complex reality. The physical toll it takes on the body, particularly the brain, is undeniable. In recent years, awareness of traumatic brain injuries, including their potential connection to neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's, has been on the rise. In this video, we'll explore what Parkinson's disease is, its potential links to the sport of American football, and what this means for athletes. Parkinson's disease is a progressive disorder of the nervous system that primarily affects movement. It develops when the nerve cells in the brain that produce dopamine become damaged or die. Dopamine is a chemical responsible for transmitting signals in the brain, controlling smooth and coordinated movements. While Parkinson's typically develops later in life, certain risk factors, like genetics and environmental exposure, can play a role. But there's one other potential factor that's drawing attention: repeated head trauma. Football players endure countless physical impacts during their careers, particularly to the head. These repeated collisions can result in concussions and more serious conditions, like chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE. CTE is a progressive brain condition found in people with a history of repetitive brain trauma. Over time, CTE can cause memory loss, confusion, impaired judgment, and personality changes. But what about Parkinson's disease? Are repeated head injuries linked to Parkinson's disease? While research into the connection between football, brain injuries, and Parkinson's is ongoing, some studies suggest that repeated head trauma may increase the risk of developing Parkinson's or similar conditions. Some high-profile football players have reported developing symptoms of Parkinson's later in life, though it's hard to make a direct link without more scientific evidence. The science behind the link. Scientists are beginning to understand how repeated head injuries affect the brain on a deeper level. Traumatic brain injuries can cause inflammation, protein buildup, and damage to nerve cells, similar to what we see in Parkinson's. The connection between Parkinson's and brain injuries isn't definitive, but some researchers believe that concussions and other trauma may make the brain more susceptible to neurodegenerative diseases. In some former athletes, including boxers and football players, symptoms that resemble Parkinson's, like tremors and slowness of movement, have been observed. These symptoms could be due to a combination of brain trauma and genetic factors. However, more research is needed to clarify this connection. Football players affected. Mike Webster. Brett Favre recently announced that he has Parkinson's disease. Junior Seau. Several NFL players have come forward with their personal struggles related to brain injuries. Notably, former players like Mike Webster and Junior Seau were diagnosed with CTE posthumously, shedding light on the long-term effects of repeated head trauma. While CTE is more well-known, players like Muhammad Ali, a former boxer, have battled Parkinson's-like symptoms later in life. It raises the question, are football players at higher risk of developing Parkinson's? Though we can't say for certain that football directly causes Parkinson's, the growing awareness around brain injuries in sports is prompting change. The NFL and other sports leagues have introduced stricter concussion protocols, aiming to reduce the risk of long-term brain damage. So what can be done? The best strategy is prevention. Improved equipment, better tackling techniques, and stricter regulations around head injuries are already helping reduce the risks for athletes. But perhaps the most important step is awareness. Understanding the risks of repeated head injuries, not just in football but in other contact sports, is essential for protecting the brain health of current and future athletes. Parkinson's disease remains a challenge for medical science, but as we learn more about its potential links to head trauma, athletes and medical professionals alike are stepping up to ensure the safety and well-being of players for generations to come. Please like, share and subscribe to learn more about protecting athletes and brain health.